Hey guys, what's up? Jeremy here. I'm going to share with you a random story about video game collecting. Now, for most of you that have been watching my videos, you've noticed that I was able to pick up some great pickups over the past couple months and stuff. But along the way, like you find what we call leads, I guess, to new collections or new stuff. And usually, when I go, if I go to a pawn shop or a garage sale or somewhere and I find games and stuff, or if I just find out people and I ask them about their video games, I'll ask, do you have old video games? What kind of games do you have? And you always have to like kind of ask, do you keep them around, or what are you doing with them, or are you going to sell them, or, whatever. But anyways, along the way, I happened to walk into, it's not even really a pawn shop. It was more like a DVD store that had some games, more newer stuff like PS2, Xbox, and the store is actually now closed, and when I was in there, I noticed a couple Nintendo games under a glass shelf, and I was looking at them, and there's a couple games I saw there. It was like $5, so I picked them up. Nothing big, but when I was talking about just inquiring if by chance they get games in once in a while, obviously they said yeah, and one of the guys that works there had mentioned to me that he actually had a lot of old video games. So I kind of asked him what he had, and he said, "Oh, I have too many to list, but I have lists at home and stuff." So he said, "Why don't you come back in a couple of days? I'll print off the list and I'll bring them in. You can look at them." So I went back a couple of days later. He showed me the list, and he's been working on it for some time, I guess. And it was like separated by Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and from there, what ended up happening. Look, I went through the list and he said, "Okay, well, if there's something you want, just go through it." And then I asked him, because I saw through his list, I saw like triples and quadruples and quintuplets of games and stuff. And I asked him, where were you getting all these from and stuff. And then he just said that over the past 10 years, he's been going to garage sales, more than 10 years, going to garage sales, just picking up games and making mass collections, and just for no particular reason. No, he doesn't play video games. He doesn't do anything. He was just collecting them for whatever reason. But anyways, I ended up going through some lists, and I'll show you the list right now and stuff, and I'll explain what they are. But just to give you an idea, this was a list here of, this was Nintendo 64, and see, he did alphabetical order of all the different games, and see, I marked off ones like Conkers and a couple other things. I think he mixed up a couple of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games in there. But as we go through, you could tell that, you could tell that some games, like Shadows of the Empire, that's Nintendo 64 for sure. Some were mixed in, like NES, like that's Dr. Mario and stuff, but then there was like Castlevania 4, which is like Super Nintendo. And then later on, throughout his list, it's like 12 pages here of games. So you have Zelda: Link to the Past, that's SNES, and this was SNES games. So anyways, what ended up happening from there, actually I went through all the lists, and I put things like check mark for yes, a star for may, see it, do you still have the system? So I was just seeing if he still has a system for some stuff, because he also noted farther on here that he had TurboGrafx, and at the time I didn't have TurboGrafx, but he noted he had TurboGrafx, and I wanted to check it out. But he did have games like Secret of Mana and a couple other stuff, and I think that was the old Punja. I have that now, obviously. And then look at all the Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario Karts he had. It was pretty ridiculous. So anyways, I went back and I marked this off. And for people that know me, that are on my YouTube and stuff, that I bought games off of, like Atari Leaf, I don't lowball anyone. Like if you ask Atari Leaf, the games I bought off him, he knows that some of them are worth something and stuff. But I paid, I would say, fair value for them and stuff. I wouldn't say something like, "Oh, give me this game for $1" or something. Like if there was a good game and stuff, and it was a rarer title and stuff, Atari Leaf knows that he would sell it to me for like, I think, $20 for one game, for example. So with these games, I made a fair value. I said, "I'll offer you this much for these certain games, or if I take them all, here's a wholesale value." Like it just kind of makes sense to give a fair value of what some of these are worth. So anyways, he looked at it and stuff, and then he said, "Well, I know some of these games are worth like $100 and $200, and I looked on eBay," and I'm sitting there thinking, like, on eBay you can't even like compare prices and stuff, because some people, they'll put stuff on there. I've seen stuff, as you guys probably know, you see stuff on there for ridiculous prices when it's not even worth anywhere near that much. So he was comparing something to unrealistic value, and he didn't know the value of his own stuff. So over the course of the next 2 months and stuff, because I was just trying to forget these games, like the ones I marked down, and I followed up, and he said I'm thinking about it and stuff, and then I followed up. He said come back in 2 weeks, and then every time I go in the store, it was a dead store. There was no business, and they kept saying, "Oh, we're really busy and stuff," and I'm like, "Well, how busy can you be?" And if you're a seller and stuff, there was zero customer service, and why should I be the one to keep following up when after 8, maybe 9, maybe even 10 times, I'm the one that's following up and stuff, and I have money ready and stuff. But anyways, with that being said, with all these games here, again, like when you just go through the list, like here you have like all these like Mario Kart 64. Yeah, there's a lot of them there and stuff, but I'm sure that's worth like average $10 and stuff. But why would I want 5 copies of Mario Kart 64? Or why do I want all these Mario Party, like Mario Party 2? I think at the time I didn't have it, so I marked I wanted one, and I wanted a Mario Party 3. But and like at the time I didn't have StarCraft, right? So I marked those because I didn't have them and stuff, and I was willing to pay, I think, probably at least $10 each for them and stuff, maybe even 15, depending on like StarCraft 64, because I really wanted it. But anyways, he comes back and he goes, all right, well, there's no point in me like picking out these few games. I'll sell you all of them and stuff. So I'm sitting there thinking of all of them, and I looked at the number of games, and then I'm thinking, okay, this thing to myself, why would I even want all these games? Because as I mentioned, there's like 5, 6 copies I'm looking at it right now. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. I already have it. Why would I want that and stuff? So then I looked at all the games, and then I thought, okay, well, there's this many games, and I figured that some, obviously, as you guys know, some are worth nothing, like probably $1, and others, yeah, some are worth maybe 10, 15, some maybe even $20, or the odd one, like even more than that. But when you average it out and stuff, I just figured that, okay, you're trying to take me from buying a few games that I wanted and I was going to pay market value, and now you want to sell me a truckload, like 1,200 games and stuff at a wholesale, and at the end of the day, it's not worth nothing to me. So then I offered him, I forget, I worked it out with some formula where some of the better games I was going to offer, like, what do you call it, $7 or $8, and some of the normal titles $5. I wouldn't have gone lower $5, but I gave him a fair price. And it was like, for all of this stuff, I think it was like $1,500 and stuff. And then I was just thinking like, well, if he sells it and stuff, then I can keep all these doubles, and then down the road, if I find people that have certain ones I want, I could trade them and stuff, and then just build my collection. But he comes back to me and he goes, "Oh, $1,500? No way! This is worth like $40,000." I'm saying, "$40,000? What are you talking about?" So, anyways, this guy could have had an easy sell for a very good value for all these games, and it was just a ridiculous to deal with and stuff. And I know along the way, some of you guys, when you did your game collecting, you might have got some really amazing scores, like $2, $3 for some really amazing games. But along the way, there's you might meet people and stuff, and they don't know the value of their collection. They'll try and say that this stuff is worth like a lot of like ridiculous amounts of money when it isn't. And then also I asked the guy, like, "Oh, have you personally tested every single game to know it works?" So he's like, "No, but they should work and stuff." So yeah, well, why should I pay so much money if I don't even know they don't even work and stuff? And I made an offer, fair value on stuff, and now you're trying to take me to a whole new level, and the offer I made is just a fair value, is not even worth your time and stuff. So you just wasted, let's see, if I went at least 8 times, probably about at least 8 hours of my life and stuff looking through this stuff. But the whole point of the story, and I apologize for rambling on here, is when you go through stuff like this, you'll meet people that they'll try and sell you stuff like, I don't know, for ridiculous amounts of money and stuff. And you know what, just never compromise your values and stuff. And if you see a game that you really want and stuff, and if the person knows it's worth so much and stuff, and if they're willing to work with you, great and stuff. But stuff like this, there's some amazing titles in this list, but don't even bother with people like this and stuff. Just don't even waste your time and stuff. So I don't know, just like a Budweiser commercial, like when they have their Rule 31 or Rule 52 or whatever it is, just no rules here. Just never compromise your values and stuff. If you see an opportunity to get a good deal and both parties are happy, fantastic. If not, no worries. You know what? There's so many games out there. You could walk away, and you'll find more games. All right. So, anyways, the whole point was never compromise your values, and hope you learn something from this. And that store went out of business. Obviously, they weren't. I could tell from the type of people they had, there was no customer service. So, anyways, we'll see you all soon, and I'll tell you about my new pickups. Bye.